The black mould is all over the walls, spread through the entirety, and this extractor fan here has been broken since I moved in.
Alice is a student on universal credit and is struggling to pay her rent. She's currently in arrears and lives on the outskirts of Sunderland because she says she's been priced out of the city centre.
If I had a choice, I would probably live in either Newcastle or Sunderland, like close to a city. But it's just impossible, like on the wage that I'm on at the minute, to even consider moving.
While the North East remains one of the most affordable places to buy and rent in England, a recent survey commissioned by the BBC found 2/3 of UK renters like Alice have found it difficult to pay for essentials in the last 6 months.
I get very stressed about money and how I'm going to survive, and how am I going to have a car, and what am I going to do if me and my fiance have children and I don't have enough money.
Nearly 500,000 young renters, or 1 in 7, had their rent increased in August. Around 1 in 3, over 1 million, are spending at least half of their household income on rent, and roughly 3 in 10 say they're now behind or really struggling to keep up with the payments.
Hi Gary, it's just Chloe from GLB Lettings, you alright?
Chloe's always aspired to own her own home. She works as an estate agent and has seen firsthand how demand for properties has grown in the North East.
When we first started, it was very one for one. You would put a property on the market, it would take a couple of weeks to let. You would do a few viewings and we'd move somebody in straight away, whereas now we have people knocking on the door ready to move in before we even get the keys ourselves.
I have the one at the end.
But it isn't just tenants who are shouldering the burden of rising costs. Colin is a landlord with 10 properties across South Shields, just outside of Sunderland.
A landlord was the guy who came round, and if you didn't pay your tax or whatever it was, you would be thrown out of your house. Those days are long gone. I'm a home provider. As I said, my market is the people who are on housing benefit or universal credit. I get paid direct, usually by the government. The interest rate is so high that the rent coming in from the government, which is £475, is less than I'm having to pay the building society for the next 2 years. So if I'm Joe Average landlord, in a very short time, I'll have to hand the keys back. The private rental sector is just going to shrink so much that unless they build council houses, the place is going to be full of people, desperate people in guest houses and hotels, because there'll be nowhere for them to live.
As for young buyers keen to get onto the property ladder, the picture isn't much better. 15.5%. That's how much the average house price in the UK went up in the year to July. And that's the biggest increase since 2003. While Northern Ireland remains the cheapest place to buy in the UK, England, Scotland and Wales have all reached record averages. And here in England's northeast, another record high. A typical home here now costs £163,000.
Me and my partner, we wanted that independence and being able to say we owned our own home. Like, we've been together 5 years and we've never even been abroad yet because the priority is owning a home. We don't want to plan on having kids until we know we have a stable roof over our head. And that might be more of a traditional look on it, but that's the way that we want to go, and ultimately the house is the main goal.